right, guys, welcome back to another segment. This time around, we are going to be deliberating on a lot of matter. In short, this is the Chelsea table talk. You know, when it comes to table talk, a whole lot happens. We disagree to agree, or we agree to disagree. But before we proceed, looking at Mike Maignan performance against Germany, am I right?
Yeah.
Yesterday, keeping a clean sheet. I guess France won 2-0. Keeping a clean sheet. Are you convinced that Chelsea should still push for the goalkeeper?
For me, I have never been against Chelsea signing Mike to the club. Like I said earlier, signing Mike will be a plus to the keeping position in the team. And it's okay. I just feel the hindrance we are having now for Chelsea signing the keeper is just the price tag. Chelsea is giving a lesser price, and Milan are not willing to accept. And we as Chelsea fans, I know that most of us, we are not ready to also push the team to bring the price that Milan is giving to us, because I don't know, but I feel that even most of us as fans, we are not really convinced that he will be that keeper that will deliver us in some major aspect. Because if he is really that keeper, then I think most of us would have been pushing. Okay, good. What's here? Just pay the 20 million, the 20 million pounds, get this keeper for us. But if finally he comes, I'm still okay with it. I'm still okay. It will be a big plus to the team, despite the presence of Petrovic, and even if we are keeping or selling Sanchez, but it will be a big plus to the team.
Okay, for me, I was convinced even before the Germany game. I was convinced before then, even when he considered the 5-0, the 5 goals against Spain. I was still convinced. So the thing for me is that, is he more experienced? Is he more better than Sanchez? The answer is yes. That's just the truth. Even if you consider the goals that he considered against Spain. Now, he did not concede goals against Germany yesterday. And everybody's like, oh, this guy kept clean sheets. Chelsea fans, everybody, let's sign him. But they are the same people that was kicking against his signing when he considered those numbers of goals against Spain. To tell you that you cannot be using one game. You can't be using one game to be determining the abilities of a player. But the question is, does he or is he more experienced than Sanchez? And the answer is yes. So why not? Why we wasting time? Let's get him. Nevertheless, I am not advocating for Chelsea to sell Sanchez. Right from time, I've always said it. Sanchez has 7 years in his contract. I think he has used like 2 or 3 years. And he still has more years to spend at Chelsea. So it's going to be bad business, in my opinion, if we just sell out Sanchez. So he should stay with someone that is more mature, grow.
You know that if they bring Mike now, we should be having like 3 goalkeepers. And definitely you have to let go of one. Either on loan or you sell.
And that was why I was talking about Petrovic going back on loan at Strasbourg, which we said it might be impossible. He might not want to. But talking of goalkeepers, I'm looking at Jorgensen as one goalkeeper I've not really been convinced with this season. Personally, I've not really been convinced with Jorgensen this season. And I'm looking at him as the player that is supposed to go out on loan. But even if Jorgensen goes out on loan, Petrovic will not want to come and play second fiddle to any goalkeeper. But that is the reason for competition. If we have 3 good goalkeepers in our team, then everybody should compete. Anyone that is good enough will start the game, will play for us. But Chelsea should not exceed the amount for Mike Maignan. At least it will be understandable that, okay, a player we bought for 15 million pounds is on the bench. To be understandable. So for me, Mike Maignan, I've been convinced before now.
If they are not willing to extend their price tag for him, like increase the money they have to buy Mike, then I think it's not possible they will get the keeper.
But the goalkeeper is dancing.
Willing, but the
willing
club,
to come
Milan are still insisting on their own price.
Business.
It's business. Football is business.
It's
they
business.
got him for money.
You don't come to my place of, let's say you don't come to my shop, you want to buy ties or anything now.
Yeah.
And you want to purchase the ties. I tell you that this ties is sold for 7,000 naira. And you're bringing 4,000 naira. We'll keep bargaining. Definitely.
Yeah,
One way or the
sure.
other, inside of me, I don't want to lose you as a customer.
Mm.
You understand? And you too, you don't want to go out from this spot because you don't know if you will get something higher than what
Yeah.
I'm giving to you. So we'll keep negotiating. Maybe you can land like 5,000 or 5,500. Then I'll say, okay, let's do the business. You understand?
Yeah.
But we see have today and tomorrow. But I don't feel Chelsea is under any pressure. The only deal I know that I feel Chelsea is likely to back out from that deal if care is not taken is Jamie Gittens, because the way Borussia Dortmund is behaving now. In short, I said it that the way German clubs are behaving. Right, look at Florian White of that Liverpool is pursuing.
100 and something million.
Yeah,
pounds.
they
So
are,
that's-
I think they
that's
are
too
tagging
much,
him for
oh.
Then
150.
look at Benjamin Sesko. From 80 to 100, I don't just understand. Now, Jamie Gittens that as of when the season have not even gone to, and we are hearing about 50 million euros. Now we are hearing that they are demanding 70 million euros. Are you guys normal? I don't understand. How do you guys do these things? But you guys have Kanichuku Emeka, and you guys have not even said anything. And you people want to cash out big.
Still, let's say we carry our player come back. Carry Chukwuemeka come. Yes, now because it's not looking as if they are trying to use our head.
This Gittens of a guy. My only issue with Chelsea is just this wage structure. I tell you, because I've seen players. I've seen players that I say, guy, what are we buying? What are we buying? Instead of Chelsea killing themselves for Jamie Gittens, you never go kill yourself for a person like Eze Berechi.
But I'm not against what you are saying.
Yes.
But the truth about the matter is that, see, I'm not against what the owners are doing or what they are trying to put in place. You understand? What they are doing now is not a now success.
Success, yeah, I know.
You understand? It's a success that will come in the next 2-3 years' time, which you and me will enjoy on a long run.
I know.
But Chelsea fans want
We are not patient. That is my bone of contention. We are not okay, now reason say you can't go this Champions League now next season because I cannot tell you, and you already know yourself that forget waiting our boys play. Forget, just take your mind. Playing in the Champions League, possibly round of 16. Possibly round of 16. If we don't add some extra strength and experience to the team, we are out.
That's why we are bringing Mike Maignan for the experience.
Bring kudos for me.
See, all those players are not justified. See, I feel that we as Chelsea fans, we really prioritize the Premier League more than even the Champions League, because there's a way as a club, you look at the competition you are playing, you know that aside from my league, my basic league, this one are advancing. I need to bring advanced hands. People will be strong.
So what's wrong? What's wrong with Gittens?
Gittens is not a bad player, I will tell you, but can Gittens really deliver like what we really need in that wing? Like let me just use let me use the Spain wingers as an example. Get those type of boys for your team. Get Nico, or you get a person like Yama for your team. At least they're very convinced.
So between Gittens and Hugo Ekitike, who is more preferable?
Hugo is more of a forwarder now. But
No, he said that Hugo can play as a winger, can play as a winger. So if you are picking between Gittens and Hugo Ekitike, remember they are both from the German league. I'm getting somewhere.
Okay.
I know where he's hitting now. Let me hit it there.
Wait, Hugo is not Hugo.
He's not a natural
He's
winger.
not a natural winger. He's more of a forwarder.
But Gift normally emphasizes that
He can navigate.
He can
but
navigate,
doesn't mean that. It's just like I remember when Jackson played as a left winger for us for 1 or 2, 3 games.
So why are you saying that Gittens cannot be able to perform, or will not be able to perform?
I'm looking at the strength of the Champions League guy.
Even
the Premier League. Do you really feel that if Gittens is in the Premier League, he can take on this our?
But do you know that Gittens has more goal more than your defense?
Why does he feel that?
I'm not arguing that. Yes, Gittens is a good player, but my own is that I feel we should bring and employ more experienced and technical wingers in the team.
I understand.
I have watched players.
I agree with you.
Me, instead of me picking any of our choice of winger now that Chelsea has on ground, aside from Nico, which I know that one said they are not serious, I will tell Chelsea go for a player like Eberechi Eze. I tell you the truth. He's a very I can beat my chest and tell you that if that guy plays for Chelsea, he will prove us very good from the Premier League even to the Champions League. He has the ability.
What about Demona Lookman?
Another wonderful player. But I don't want to call him. I know that's even a Nigerian boy now. I won't call. Even though Berechi is a Nigerian boy, but yes, they play for England. Man, no go call Lookman. Man, no come there as if they bring sentiment. We have those type of boys. You bring them to the team. You have that confidence that even though you are in the Champions League or you are in the Premier League, you are very confident of them.
Do you know that Eze has not played in Champions League before?
He has not played the Champions League before. I agree that. But your Kudus, has he played the Champions League before?
At least he has played the European League. And do you know my issue?
Eze is going to the Europa next season.
Wait.
And you watch him there.
Wait. You are saying the correct thing. I agree with you. But my issue with you is that you most of the times you contradict what you believe in. Because wait.
Okay.
When we were talking about Delap before now, we spoke about Delap for a long time. And Keith said he doesn't buy into the idea of Delap because we are only thinking about Premier League. So we don't think about Champions League. That how can Delap perform well for us in the Champions League? But now we are banking on Eberechi Eze to perform for us in the Champions League, whereas he has not played it.
Do you know why I bank on him? Now there are players that when you watch them, and like seeing them in that position, like the way they play already, you know, say, but these guys, then he did their body, but they never get. I am not disputing your Delap again. I'm a Chelsea fan. We have gotten Delap, and I fully supported. Yes, let's get Delap. But earlier, when you're talking about when we want to sign a player, you will not just, we are looking at our primary competition, which is the Premier League, and also we are having something above, which is tougher, like a tougher competition ahead. We should scout for players that, even though they fit in the Premier League, they can also fit in the Champions League. Bro, that is the difference.
Kudus will fit in the Champions League more better than even these Eberechi you are talking about.
Don't say that. Don't say that, bro. You don't say that.
Yes, but at least he has played in the European competitions. Now, have you
watched Eberechi bro?
Now I'm talking to you based on what you believe in, because you always say, this player has not played in Champions League before.
Let me put this into you. Go, if it was possible now. Just call any Man City player and ask them, a Man City defender, who is your biggest threat as a bowler? Talking about an average team. Do you know anything Eberechi they do?
You talk about Man City, okay. If you talk about Liverpool, they will still call somebody another player. If you talk about Chelsea, they will call another player.
Let us don't.
We can go for Kudus or any player, but guys, let's try to manage. Let's try to understand that even though we are facing our primary competition, we're also having a higher competition.
Gittens for me, let me just, the way I see that guy, I think he's a little bit up there ahead of Sancho based on the fact that he shoots.
Yeah,
he scores goals, but apart from the goals and the shots that he plays, I think he's just like a bit like Sancho.
He's very good at area balls. He's winning area duels too.
Well, I don't see anything bad in him.
He can,
I know Chelsea can do better.
Yeah.
I've said it here before. If I have to choose, there are three people that enters my head as our left wingers: Kudus, Rodrigo, Nico Williams. But if we can't go for these guys, the Gittens you're talking about is not a bad option. At least he has played in the Champions League, if not for anything, because you always talk about Champions League.
Well, let us not stress much about that. All right. Still on the Chelsea table talk, I have a question to ask. And also, this question goes to the fans, all Blues TV fans that is watching us. I know these questions, it will sound sarcastic. I don't know how to put it, but I want to ask. You understand? Now, keep injury aside. Listen, I said keep injury aside. Kopama, Cucurella, Moses Casaido, Rhys James. Say one out of these four. And give me your reason why you sell.
Just as if they ask questions, say build house without foundation.
This silence is sponsored by
Obviously.
Of course, the way most fans go answer, but the truth is that none of these players, there is none of them that you can't replace. If I ask you a question now, between these players you've called, which one is irreplaceable? We can replace any of them, bro. To me, I feel like we can replace any of them. So if you say I should sell one, I can still replace that one.
Which one will you
Which
say?
one
It's
will
not
you
about
say?
replacing. I say sell.
Cucurella.
Aru. Igbo man
Cucurella.
will
Give me your
say,
reason.
they will say abomination.
Cucurella.
Give me your reasons. I say keep injury aside. Give me your reasons.
For me, it's just a pick. It's just a pick. It's the which word will I use now? Abilities. Now, if you look at Cucurella, yes, he's been fantastic this season. If you call the best 3 left backs in the world this season, you pick Cucurella, or let's just say first 5 left back in the world, you pick Cucurella. But I feel like there's something that is still lacking in his game,
What's that?
which is attacking.
You like find my trouble.
I know that, yes, he has scored goals for us this season because of the position that Maresca has pushed him in. But there is this width. How do I describe this thing? This wing football that like a left back supposed to, if you compare him to likes of Mendes.
See, you see what this young man is. You see what this young man.
You will answer you will tell me the one that I want to say. before you-
So for me, I feel like that thing is lacking in Cucurella's game much.
So you will sell Cucurella.
It's just a slim pick.
So you will sell Cucurella.
Yes, you have to pick one. I'll say Cucurella. That's my
Okay.
opinion.
Who will you
Before
sell?
before I make my choice, let me just counter him for a while.
Okay.
Now, mentioning Mendes is, for me, I'll pick it like an offense. Every player then get their uniqueness. The only advantage I feel that Mendes has over Cucurella is just that in terms of the pace, the speed, you can give it to Mendes. Mendes is very fast and he calculates very fast. That's thing that Mendes did for Portugal. Cucurella also did this for us that won us 1-0 against Leicester City. That same shot. Now he say win us 1-0. So talking about a player with strength and energy, you said keeping injury aside, a player with strength and energy. He played 100 and how many minutes did he play for Spain yesterday? He played the complete from the beginning down to the end of the match.
So make your pick. You know?
I'm only trying to counter you because I will not say that your choice is wrong. It's your own opinion. But when you're making a choice like this, let's say you are given the privilege of being a Chelsea board leader and you have to make a choice of player, making that decision is very wrong.
What is your own
Now,
choice?
for me, my decision, I'm not picking my decision based on sentiment or because lately he has been weak.
So how would you say I pick my one out of sentiment?
Just chill and hear what I want to say now. For me, having Palmer, Caicedo, James, and Cucurella, Palmer is awesome. Yes, Palmer is awesome. He's very unique. He plays a different kind of football. He controls the game. Same thing goes to Caicedo. Talking about the best defensive midfielder in the world, you will call him. But talking about James, he's good. He's good. Yes, he has that free kick eye, just like Rice.
Remember, I said keep injury aside.
Injury aside, I'm telling you the truth. Injury aside, for me, I will tell you the truth. I will not rate James ahead of Cucurella. I will not. I'm telling you the truth. Like when you're talking about looking
This
at
is the table talk.
no, do you know I'm saying that?
Yeah.
See, James is a very good baller. Yes, we know. James scores free kick, but it is not always. Not every time they score free kick. He scores, yes. Normal, when James did the game, we don't watch James make tangible mistake. And I 3.1 game for you. Against our match against, I think, which team? We one dribble player, Fulham. Even if we select that the boys then come back, then pick the game from there, then give us the winning. James is good. Yes. He can go front, he can come back just like Cucurella, but talking about the effort between these two players, Cucurella and James. Now, why I'm picking James is because I'm looking at the strengths. I feel that Cucurella is a more energetic player than James.
Do you know that James has not been playing to full fitness this season?
Okay,
I say keep
injury
No,
aside.
that is why I'm telling him. He said James, Cucurella is more energetic than James. And I'm telling you that even
But looking at reality,
the energy,
even without his injury.
Okay, wait.
Yes.
If you are keeping injury aside for a player like James, let us waive out this season. Let us go back to James' best season.
Okay. Which was?
let's say the 2021 Champions League season,
Okay.
would you still, with that eye, you're looking at James in 2021 season, would you still pick Cucurella ahead of James?
In 2021 season, how many right back did we have there?
Bro, we had right backs.
We-
Aspilicueta was our right back. Was even our
He was
captain.
even the major right
How
back.
was he
Not-
the major
he
right
was the
back?
major right back.
Come on, bro. How,
Aspilicueta was the major right back
how
then.
do you know about James? If James was not the one,
James was just
performing-
James was coming in, but wait,
Who played the final?
who played the finals of Champions League?
who played the
James.
finals? James played, yes, he played.
Mhm.
But that was not enough. James, he tried his best. In the finals, everybody was defensive.
The only reason why
Everybody
the
was
only reason
defensive.
why I did not pick James was because you removed that injury something aside. And the fact that you removed it, even the best of the best players in this world, you ask them, who is the most complete right back in the world? Who is the most complete right back? They keep picking James.
You know the ability of talking about, when you're talking about left back now in the world, talking about left backs. Now, being a left back, a complete left back, is not just your ability to like be defensive more and sometimes you can go and cross the ball. Look at the likes of Bade. Now, I want to bring this in, Bade of Baka. Look at Bade. Now, those type of mentality players are the players that can be like Cucurella, Mendes. Look at those players. Look at the way they play. They are players that they can hold your team. They can, both defensive wise,
So are you saying
offensive wise.
James cannot hold the team because at a point
But
James
you know
was
some-
doing that for Chelsea. Like wave out this season,
I'm not looking at this season.
That's what I'm telling
My
you.
eye is never.
If
If you're
you're
talking
not-
about this season, then we can point at Caicedo also. You point at Caicedo because if you are really focused on this season, because more of Caicedo's effort was just from late last season to this season. Am I lying?
What do you mean? If you say if you remove this season,
If you're talking about, you're saying wave out this season.
I'm talking about James because you cannot use this. I told, like I said, something. James has not been playing to full fitness this season. We all know. Maresca has said it even after the Conference League winning. He said if he can
I'm not
play
looking
James
at
every day,
James.
he will
Okay.
play him.
Okay.
The
The truth about the matter is that you guys have answered, given your
Yes.
answers. You pick James. You picked
Cucurella is a
you
slim
pick-
pick. Not baby
James.
say
Now
not,
just
not,
small
not
thing
out
self
of
will make myself not even pick
No.
Palmer. Now small thing will make me no pick Palmer. I wish like James no follow for that this thing. I for pick Palmer. Now the truth be that. I wish James no follow for that thing. I for pick Palmer.
Well, this question is not only for us. I'll throw it. I've already thrown it to you people at the comment section. We need answers, constructive answers. Casaido, James, Palmer, Cucurella. Keep injury aside. Which of these players will you sell from Chelsea? I guess that will be all for now. Do it to like, share, and subscribe. My name is Peters.
My name is Big Dave.
And my name is Gifto.